Hey, so I've been sick the last several days and still am kind of getting over that. But it's actually been this profound experience. I haven't actually been sick in, I don't know, several years now. And so this is all kind of this weird phenomenon for me. And it's almost been like this forced meditation retreat kind of experience. And so I wanted to share just kind of like what's been going on and the lessons that I'm learning from this. And it's probably the virus that shall not be named. Either way, one of the first things that happened was that I've been too tired to it's like be involved in the world out there. And I know that might sound a little bit weird, but it's like um, just physically being drained. It's like there's all this stuff happening outside, out in the world, wherever. And it's like I don't have the energy or the desire to like get my energy involved in it. And that's what I'm really like being able to distinguish with this sickness is that so much of my energy, even for good things, even for things that I enjoy, like gets entwined with the world out there, the world of form. And it's kind of like put me into this, what the yogis might call a pratyaharic state, where I'm withdrawing not just my senses, but it's like my involvement in a certain way with the world. My you could say identity of how I get involved with the world. I hope that makes sense. And so I'm just like too tired to really be concerned with what's happening out there. And I know on one level that might sound a little harsh or something like I just don't care. And that's not quite where it is. I know it sounds that way, but it's like I'm too tired to be emotionally invested, to have my identity invested in what's going on out there. And this is like the key point. And because of that, all my attention, all my energy is just coming back to me. It's coming within. So I've been in this place where it's like, okay, I'm going to let all the world out there go. I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be in my space. I'm just going to feel what I'm feeling. And with that now free attention, free energy, I'm like, oh, well, if I've got all this energy I can do what I want with, well, why not just feel good? Even though my body feels like crap, even though I'm coughing and all this stuff, let's just feel good. And so I've been, as weird as it sounds, like my body feels horrible, but I've been just blissing out and like going to places of such extreme happiness and bliss that it's like I almost couldn't tell that my body was sick. The body's still sick, don't get me wrong, but I've been in this kind of blissed out place the whole time. And so as I'm kind of noticing this, I'm noticing that in normal life, my normal way of being, my normal involvement in the world, I've been giving up that bliss, that connection to peace and infinity in order to show up in the world a certain way, in order to like be my normal self. And so as that process has been interrupted, I'm finding, okay, I can just bliss out. And now as I'm kind of on the mend, it's like, okay, can I re-enter the world not getting involved in the drama in the old way, but still just being blissed out. And one of the things that's happened during all this was the whole Charlie Kirk shooting. And I don't want to do anything political with this, but what I've noticed is that how would I have responded if I hadn't been sick and hadn't been blissing out? What would my reaction have been? What are all the reactions I see in people out there? Both sides, and I'm noticing that they're all based in reaction. And so no one's really consciously showing up to deal with this situation. It's all coming from reaction. And so as I've kind of like been out of like too tired to have a reaction in my own little, place and blissing out, what I've discovered in that place was a new connection to love, a new place of just, can I be so blissed out that I go into unconditional love? And that's kind of been where I've been trying to hang out as best I can. And now as like weird stuff is happening in the world, can I not as a reaction or as a response, but can I just be unconditional love? And this is where the words are very tricky, because when I'm coming from truly unconditional love, then what's happening in the world doesn't dictate my response. It doesn't determine my response. What I mean by that is whether there's someone I agree with or not, whether something horrible and awful happens to them or not, when I'm truly in this conscious place, no matter what happens out there, I'm coming from unconditional love. And there's that quote by Krishnamurti where he says, what's my secret to happiness, or something like that. And he says, it's like, I don't mind what happens out there. It's something like that. And that's always kind of struck me as a little cold, a little, I don't know, a little maybe detached isn't quite the right word, but it's like almost like heartless, like there's no compassion there. And when you really kind of like think about what he actually said, I don't mind what happens out there. I don't mind what happens. I don't get my mind involved in it. I don't get my identity dependent upon what happens out there. And it's actually a very loving statement, because he's saying, I can be unconditional love. And because I'm unconditional love, I bring that into every situation, regardless of what's happening. And so as all the chaos has been going on in the world out there, as horrors and travesties and shootings and all this stuff is going on, it's like this sickness is showing me that we can show up as unconditional love. And that for that, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what side you're on. It doesn't, like, any of that matters. It doesn't even matter if horrible things are happening, in the sense that that doesn't change the unconditional love that you are. And so when we remove our automatic identity, our automatic way of showing up in the world, when we get just tired of all the drama and bring our attention and energy back to ourselves and discover that in this place, okay, I can reconnect to my bliss, I can reconnect to unconditional love, I can just be that, then it's like the sickness has been showing me, it's like, okay, from here, now I can re-enter the world. And it doesn't matter what's happening around me. It's not going to change me. It's not going to force me into reaction. I'm going to abide as the unconditional love that I am. And that's the best way to deal with travesty, whether something's going horribly wrong or wonderfully right. We still want to show up as unconditional love. Like, that's the best place to be in. So the whole timing of this has been kind of interesting. I received the first Munai Kai transmission probably a few days before I really started getting sick, because I'm not, there's like a bunch of other things going on too, so I'm not entirely sure that that's the cause of this, but I will say that transmission is connected to unconditional love and healing and those kinds of things. So I'm kind of like wondering if how much that has affected things. Either way, sickness, it's not been quote unquote fun. It's been physically an exhausting experience, but it's really been this profound thing. If you are interested in the Munai Kai transmissions, I'll put that first transmission, I'll put a link to it under this video. You can go through that for free. It is quite profound, and it might stir things up for you. I think it might have for me, but I'll let you decide on that. It's an energetic transmission from this lineage of like indigenous shamans and healers and light workers. But it's been a profound several days. So hopefully something here was useful to you. Be unconditional love. That's the main thing. That's what we're here to do. That's who we're here to be, especially as the craziness is happening out there. I will also say that it seems crazy out there. It seems violent out there. It seems like everything that can go wrong is going wrong. But I also feel like the news or whatever social media is focusing on a very a small part of what's actually going on. And I think there like just historically we're in one of the safest periods in the history of humanity. Like the amount of violence compared to 100 years ago, compared to 500 years ago, is minuscule. And I think that's really important to be aware of, that the news will show you everything's wrong, everything's horrible, everything's going to hell. But in fact, we are kind of as a species happier, healthier, wealthier, safer than we've ever been in history. And no matter where you are just in terms of wealth right now, what you have access to would make the kings and queens of old look like paupers. Even if you're paycheck to paycheck, even if you're struggling to make ends meet, I mean, just having a phone, like the level of wealth that across the globe that we all have access to now is unprecedented. And so there's people out there that are going to tell you everything's going to hell and we're horribly off and everything's violence, but that's really not the case. They're focusing on that to try to get you into fear, to try to get you into reaction, to try and get you involved in the world out there in that egoic identity place. And what we need to do is withdraw from that, find our bliss, find that connection to unconditional love, and then bring that into the world. Be that light, because there are people out there that need us to do just that. So I think that's all my voice can take right now. If you want to go through the Moonlight Kai transmission, find the link under this video. Lots of love to you, and until next time.